So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto goes back in time with Kakashi his Genin days. Part 4. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see part 5, comment down below. And let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content. And leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also share this video with your friends. And check out the description. And check out my playlist. So let's start the video. Chapter 10. If we need to cheat, ask harder questions. And remember, outside of the second task, killing equals disqualification, so please wait to sate your bloodlust until after the exams. Ibiki finished explaining the exam's code of conduct. But Gaara wasn't disqualified last time because he fought me, Sasuke whispered to Sakura. So how did he manage to not kill anyone during the preliminaries? Sakura thought back. He fought Lee, remember? He crippled him, and Lee had to undergo that life-threatening surgery and rebuild all his skills from scratch. Sasuke shook his head. No, I had my own medical issues I was dealing with back then. Instead of your current seating arrangements, you will be assigned a number, Ibiki explained. Please form a single file line. Once again, everyone was split up and once again Naruto was seated next to a fellow rookie. Unlike before, however, it wasn't Hinata. Yes. Naruto cheered. Best seat ever. Why? Where are you seated? Sakura asked. I'm right next to Shino. Naruto explained happily. And that makes it the best seat ever. Why? Sakura asked again because she knew that, curious or not, Sasuke was never going to. Of course, Naruto nodded. Shino does have bugs, after all. We know that Sasuke felt the need to remind him. So you should see why I'm loving my seat arrangement, Naruto shot back. Just tell us, Sakura sighed. Termites are a kind of bug, Naruto informed them. You mean? Yep, Naruto nodded gleefully. Shino is my ultimate Kankuro defense. For the love of God, you do not need protection from me. Kankuro burst out from a few feet away. Naruto was rather loud, after all, so he'd heard half of the conversation at any rate. Although if you keep this up, you're threatening me while trying to convince me that you're not evil. Naruto asked incredulously. Temari, Gaara, I applaud you for staying sane as long as you have. Temari's eyebrows rose. And now my sanity is being compared to Gaara and not in a maybe you should spend less time in the sun kind of way. Alright, find your seats, Ibiki ordered. As they were finding their seats, Sakura pulled Ino aside. Ino, if you use yours on me, I'm going to give you an impromptu haircut like mine. If you use it on Sasuke, he'll probably go on a revenge date with some other girl. Aren't you going to warn me off copying from Naruto? Ino asked, shuddering slightly at Sakura's threats. I would, Sakura acknowledged. But since if you tried it with him the Kyuubi could very well eat you, so I think I'll let you use your own judgment. Looking distinctly pale, Ino resolved to pick a different team to cheat from. Team 7 paid little attention as Ibiki attempted to psyche them out and hint that they needed to cheat while advising them not to do so carelessly. Sakura wondered briefly why, seeing as how they practically advertised that you could cheat 4 times with relative impunity, anyone would cheat more than that. Granted, that meant getting only 4 answers, but all that was important was making sure you didn't get 0. Or all that was supposed to be important. Begin, Ibiki said, and the race was on. 20 minutes into the exam and the competent ones were just figuring out that they were supposed to be cheating when Sakura threw down her pen triumphantly. Done. She called, wisely turning over her paper and glaring pointedly at Ino to minimize the chance of anyone being able to cheat on her. Sasuke and Naruto said nothing but started writing faster. Another 10 minutes into the exam and Sasuke also put down his pen after thoughtfully penning some advice to the examiners. If you want to make us cheat, you should try giving us some harder questions. Granted, only Sakura and, he supposed, Shikamaru, if he could have been bothered, had been able to answer the questions as genuine, but for those who had already passed the exam, it had just been a matter of doing the work. Damn it, Naruto growled, finishing up 5 minutes after that. Why am I always last? Because you suck, Sasuke said bluntly. Quiet down back there or we're talking points, Ibiki warned. They probably should take points anyway, as the conversation could very well be coded, but the girl had only said one word, and both boys had only started to speak after they had finished. Right after Naruto finished, Kankuro suddenly had to go to the bathroom, and what Naruto's puppet senses very clearly declared to be a puppet, handcuffed him and escorted him there. It was creative, he supposed, and audacious, but given the fact it had puppet lines on its face, how could honestly not realize that he was being allowed to get away with it? Or was that part of the lousy security Orochimaru had convinced Konoha had in order to persuade them to invade? Finally, Ibiki seemed to decide enough teams had been weeded out. Now, for the 10th question. Let me preface this by saying that you don't actually have to take the question. Once you agree to take it, though, you have to answer it. What happens if we choose not to take it? Temari asked curiously. Then you fail, obviously, Naruto told her, enjoying his complete and total lack of desperation. Otherwise, what would be the point of having a 10th question if you didn't need to answer it and there were no penalties for not doing so? Indeed, the boy whose teammates managed to beat him in the exam is right, Ibiki said. Hey, I did it without cheating, how many other people can't say that? Naruto demanded. Kabuto raised his hand. You're practically ancient, Naruto said dismissively, and this is your 7th time so you don't count. Not only will your teammates fail if you fail, but if you do take the 10th question and get it wrong, then you will never be able to become a Chunin. Ever. Your teammates, however, will be able to reapply in the 6th month, Ibiki told them. Didn't Naruto say that Kabuto guy took the exam 7 times, though? Kiba questioned. How does that work? I haven't been a proctor at Kabuto's other exams. This year, I am so I can do basically whatever I want. Ibiki declared, looking like he was about to burst into maniac laughter at any moment. No one wanted to be the first to quit, so no one said anything for a minute. I'm out, one of the plants finally announced. Looking pissed, his teammates followed him to the doorway. Me too. Another plant said. And me. An actual genin disqualified themselves. It was kind of tiring, watching team after team that had traveled all this way to Konoha back out at the first sign of difficulty. Finally, only 17 teams remained including, of course, the 4 from Konoha, Kabuto's team, Gaara's team, the potentially secretly Orochimaru team, and the Odo team. So are the 51 of you that's left absolutely sure that you want to do this? Ibiki asked them seriously. For about the 30th time. Look, your cunning plan to annoy us into quitting is pretty brilliant, I'll admit, Naruto said tiredly, but our sensei makes annoying people a hobby and already threatened to make us train with Guy in the morning until he showed up if we don't pass. Ibiki blinked. Doesn't he start training at 4:30? The better to get the most out of the youthful hours when the sun is just rising. Lee confirmed excitedly. We can't take that for a year, Sasuke confided. So no matter how many times you ask us, we're not giving up. The exam proctor winced sympathetically. That's the spirit, Anko throwing herself through the window and throwing various weapons at the genin still seated. How else will you get your revenge? I really wish you wouldn't encourage him, Anko, Naruto said, shaking his head. There's nothing wrong with a little encouragement when it comes to reaching your goals, Anko replied innocently. There is when it's Sasuke. Sakura muttered. Anko, I wasn't done with the test yet, Ibiki told her tersely. Since the first portion of the exam is clearly over though, you guys pass. Ino gasped. Why? Ibiki opened his mouth to explain, but Anko beat him to the punch. You'll take too long, she told him frankly. You were supposed to cheat unless you're some kind of genius or have been a genin far too many years. If you sucked at cheating and got caught being obvious 5 times, you were out. If you agreed to take the exam or hypothetical dangerous mission then you at least have the broadest characteristics of a, and if you're too scared to take it then you don't deserve the title. Who are you? Kankuro demanded. And why did you throw deadly projectiles at us? I'm Anko and I'll be your second examination proctor, Anko announced. As for why? Well, if you let it hit you then you wouldn't be ready to be dot. So you tried to kill us? Kankuro repeated. Oh, good point, you haven't signed the waivers yet. Anko mused. Well, follow me and we'll get right to that. Is it too late to quit? Kabuto asked. Yes, Anko snapped. But don't worry, you'll get a second chance after the second exam. That won't be very helpful if we die, Kabuto pointed out. Then don't die. Honestly, kid, if you're this worried maybe you should have quit while you were ahead a long time ago. Anko muttered, heading off towards the forest of death and expecting the hopefuls to be following her. So how do you think they're doing? Minato asked. Kakashi looked up from his ever-present book. Apparently the various changes they made, Minato being alive, Naruto being a part of his life, forcing him to actually spend time in Konoha, had made enough of an impact on Jiraiya that his books were different. Not to say they were really any better or worse and definitely not more appropriate, but it was nice not to have to wait until they reached the point where the author had originally died to get some new material. My minions. They aren't your minions, Kakashi, they're your students, Minato said, trying to look stern and failing. Really? Because back when Obito and Rin joined us to form a team you were singing a different song, Kakashi countered. That was Jiraiya-sensei who called you guys my minions, and then he said something about how he was going to write a spy smut novel, Minato reminded him. You didn't correct him, Kakashi insisted. It's Jiraiya-sensei, Minato pointed out. Would he really have done any good? I suppose not, Kakashi conceded. That was a good book he wrote about that. Although I was a bit put out that the character that was based on me didn't get the girl. Well, to be fair you didn't get the girl, so if he wanted to be accurate, he had to have Obito's character end up with her, Minato said levelly. True to life. Kakashi snorted. Have you ever read those books, Minato-sensei? As the Hokage who must set an example for his people, I'm afraid I cannot answer that question one way or another, Minato said virtuously. Yeah, set an example alright. Kakashi shook his head. You know, there's a reason Naruto calls every other shinobi he meets a closet pervert. I'm starting to think there's a correlation between ninja power and perversion, Minato confessed. As the only other way to explain the fact that all powerful ninja are raging perverts is some sort of societal problem I might be forced to address. I can definitely see the connection, Kakashi said quickly. You just want to be able to read your books in peace, Minato accused. Kakashi merely shrugged. Oh, that's right, I never did answer you about my minions. I think they'll be fine. Are you sure? Ibiki is the first examiner, you know, Minato said anxiously. Kakashi rolled his eyes. He's not going to torture them without a waiver, and Anko said she's handing them out at the second exam, so don't worry. There's always psychological torture, Minato pointed out. Your son doesn't actually believe in giving up, and making him doubt himself will just make him come back 10 times harder, Kakashi assured his mentor. I know, but I'm still not sure he was ready. I mean, a lot of the exam is about teamwork, as solo missions are usually a jounin only thing, and he's known Sasuke for years, so they should be able to work together alright, but what about the other one? Haruno Sakura? Minato asked. He never really interacted with her before you wanted her on your team. You met her at dinner, remember? Kakashi asked. It might have taken a while, but she and the boys have the whole camaraderie thing down pat. Taken a while? Minato repeated. They've been a team for 4 months. And what a 4 months it has been, Kakashi said. So she's not a fangirl then? Most kunoichi I've seen have been at that age. Although by the time of their first Chunin exam they are usually over it, Minato acknowledged. She's over it as well, Kakashi replied. Rin was never a fangirl even when she did have a crush on me. Minato shrugged. I think it was the war. Let's hope we can keep the peace as long as we can, Kakashi said soberly. Especially with all the sacrifices we've had to make. Minato nodded his agreement. I agree with you that the Chunin exam is an excellent time to strike with all the foreign nationals running about, and hopefully our increased security will be enough to make sure that if anyone tries something they won't succeed. One final word of advice, Anko said after she finished explaining the rules and mildly molesting Kiba who couldn't keep his mouth shut and got a kunai wound to the cheek that she just had to lick. Don't die. That's good advice, Naruto decided. Since we didn't sign the waiver yet, can I sue her? Kiba wondered. That depends if the waiver says that it covers actions that happened before you signed it, Shikamaru told him. Read the fine print. Kiba looked slightly panicked. On the other hand, I'm sure I can just challenge Naruto when this is all over and his therapy jutsu will get me past this. His sensei is engaged to her, so I'm sure he's gotten mildly molested before. Naruto shuddered. I don't want to talk about it. So, Gaara, what did you think of the first part of the test? It was easy. It was, Naruto agreed. I didn't even need to cheat. Which is fortunate as it wouldn't have occurred to you to do so anyway, Sasuke pointed out. That was one time. Naruto protested. And your morals wouldn't have let you do it even if it had occurred to you, Sakura added. You know, I am this close to defecting to Gaara's team and letting you deal with Kankuro for 5 days, Naruto threatened. Oh, please do. Kankuro pleaded. Coward, Temari accused. You can't just defect to Suna, Naruto, Sakura said, shaking her head. Why not? Naruto demanded. Your dad would probably be pissed seeing as how he's the head of Konoha, she pointed out. So? What's a little teenage rebellion? Naruto asked rhetorically. If you're not there and we should meet that man, then I cannot guarantee Sakura would be enough to stop me from murdering him on the spot, Sasuke contributed. Naruto winced. Sorry Gaara. Maybe next time. Gaara, who hadn't expressed an opinion about Naruto changing teams one way or another and wasn't sure that was even allowed, blinked at him. Next time? I thought you intended to pass. Odd exams? Are there jounin exams? Sasuke asked. I have no idea, Naruto confided. Do you guys even live in Konoha? Sakura asked incredulously. Everyone headed to your gate, Anko's voice rang through the crowd. Gotta go guys, Naruto said, waving goodbye to the Sand siblings. Good luck Temari. Why's that? She demanded. You think I'm weak? Oh, God no, Naruto shook his head. But you're going to be stuck in there for 5 days with your psychotic younger brother. Still, at least you'll have Gaara. Okay, first I'm evil, now I'm psychotic. I will never come back here again, Kankuro swore. Gaara, meanwhile, was considering building a vacation home there. These people were clearly a lot saner than those he'd left behind in Suna. Chapter 11. I've got to go to the bathroom, Naruto announced once they had been in the forest for about an hour. Later. Wait, I suggest we come up with a code word first, Sasuke said. In case someone tries to impersonate you. Naruto made a face. You just want to try and trick me with one of those stupid epic poems again, don't you? Stupid epic poems? Sakura repeated incredulously. It was only 5 or 6 lines. Well it seemed longer, Naruto said defensively. And someone might be spying on us so there's no point. Then what do you suggest we do? Sasuke asked sarcastically. Ask you something only you would know. Actually, all things considered, that would probably be the best plan, Sakura mused. It wouldn't even have to be personal just recently. We do have an advantage after all. I'm glad we've worked that out, Naruto said, heading for the bushes. Again, later. So do you think we'll run into that snake pedophile? Sakura asked conversationally while they waited. Sasuke sighed. I really wish you wouldn't call him that. And I really wish you hadn't run off with him, Sakura countered. But you know what they say. You can't always get what you want. When are you and Naruto going to drop the whole Sasuke had an affair with Orochimaru thing? Sasuke demanded. Sakura raised an eyebrow. That depends. Was that an admission? What? No. Sasuke protested. So you're still in denial then, Sakura concluded. I'm not in denial. Sasuke insisted. He paused. Although I do realize that in and of itself constitutes a denial. Sakura laughed. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I'll drop it when you drop the whole Sakura's useless thing. I would love to drop that, I really would, Sasuke said innocently. And I will. The minute you actually do something. Swiftly, Sakura pulled out a kunai. I can do something right here if you'd like, she mock-threatened. Sakura-chan, there's really no need to be so violent, is there? Naruto asked, stepping out of the bushes. Especially towards our teammate during the exam. He'll be fine, Sakura said dismissively. How long did it? Wait, I'll handle this, Sasuke interrupted. Tell me about our first kiss. Naruto turned red. Sasuke. Don't try to trick me. When was our first kiss? Honestly, you know we never did. Wrong answer, Sasuke said smoothly, throwing a shuriken at the boy he had decided wasn't his teammate. The day we graduated we kissed. Technically. Oh, right, Sakura remembered. I gave Naruto a concussion. Very clever of you to figure it out, not Naruto said, turning back into his real form. Not really, Sasuke said easily, watching as Sakura crept around behind their would-be attacker. You're just really bad at impersonating people. Since it was an embarrassing moment for us both, I could easily see Naruto denying the event ever happened, but you didn't even try. The boy began before feeling a tap on his shoulder. Automatically, he turned around in time to see Sakura's fist flying towards his face. Sakura reached down to check their unconscious opponent for a scroll. He doesn't have one, she reported after her search was complete. He probably left it with his teammates while he played infiltration. Smart move, Sasuke remarked. Yeah, Sakura agreed. And guess who finally did something? Sasuke snorted. Took you long enough. Hey guys, I'm back, Naruto announced. Hi Naruto, how many times have I kicked your ass? Sasuke asked. Oh, that didn't count. Naruto replied hotly. You were using your drag form. My drag form? Sasuke repeated uncertainty. Yeah, Naruto nodded. You know, the one you got from the Hiki. That was my curse seal form. You could even call it my demon form if you wanted to. It is not a drag form, Sasuke said firmly. Are you sure? Naruto asked innocently. Because I could have sworn I saw lipstick. That's him alright, Sakura giggled. So, Naruto, what would you have said if we asked about the first time you and Sasuke kissed? Naruto turned red. That never happened. Really? Because I seem to remember Sakura began. Never happened. Naruto cried out, sounding almost desperate. Sakura shook her head in amusement. Alright. Suddenly they were assailed by projectile weapons in the form of leaves. Oh for the love of. We just took out someone, Naruto complained as he took cover. Oh, don't even start, you weren't even there. Sakura snapped as she headed off in a different direction to do the same. You guys just play around over there. I'll take care of them myself, the ninja in the middle said. Sasuke sought out the teammate closest to him Sakura once the attack was over. What did I tell you right before ditching you? Thank you, Sakura said softly. Okay, now for Sasuke started to say. Not so fast, Sakura cut in. That was vague enough it could have meant anything so answer me this. Who did you attack the summit to get at? Danzo, Sasuke practically growled. Hey guys, Naruto said cheerfully as he ran up to them. What did you tell Tsunade-sama after your godfather died? Sakura asked him. Naruto gave her a puzzled look. Jiraiya is not dead. Wrong answer, Sakura told him flatly. So you figured it out, fake Naruto number 2 shrugged as he melted back into his current form. That won't be enough to save you. Eat this you stupid snake. Naruto shouted out from a little ways away from them. Rasengan. There goes a giant snake, I'm sure, Sakura noted. We're both after a scroll, right? You have an earth scroll and I have a heaven one, the impostor said, lifting the scroll to his lips. Wait, Sasuke said suddenly. I know you. You're Orochimaru of the Sannin. Orochimaru paused and smirked. Very impressive, Sasuke-kun. Don't call Sasuke that, you pedophile. Sakura said angrily. So not the time, Sasuke told her. I am not a pedophile, Orochimaru insisted, sounding offended. Why do people keep saying that? Oh, I don't know, maybe it's your tendency to seek out young boys, give them a hickey, and then take them to live with you? Sakura suggested sarcastically. They aren't hickeys, they're seals and I'm interested in their powers and bloodlines, not their bodies. Orochimaru hissed. Well, that's not quite true, but I'm not out to molest them. You give them the seals via sucking on their neck, Sakura pointed out. At Orochimaru's startled look, she explained, we know Anko. Orochimaru, Sasuke growled, drawing attention back to him. You killed. Hey guys, I'm back. Again, Naruto informed them, bounding up to them. Timing, Naruto, God we've talked about this, Sasuke complained. When someone's in the middle of a dramatic moment, don't interrupt unless you're going to add to the drama or if they're evil and really pissing you off. Sorry, Naruto apologized. I can go back and wait until you're done if you want. Sasuke gave a put upon sign. Don't bother now that you're here. Just keep quiet and let me do this, okay? Okay, Naruto said agreeably. Just try and keep the sexual tension to a minimum, okay? Sasuke twitched and opened his mouth to say something about how he and Orochimaru didn't have any sexual tension when he stopped suddenly and smirked. Why? He asked instead. Jealous. Bastard, Naruto accused. Not an answer, Sasuke pointed out. If you guys don't hurry this up then I'm going to tell Kiba about this, Sakura threatened. Hell, I might do that anyway. Failing at the thought of telling the one guy who persisted in believing that they were secretly in love about their current conversation, both boys abruptly stopped arguing. Sasuke cleared his throat and turned back to Orochimaru who was just staring at them in disbelief. Clearly, he didn't get ignored by preteens who knew who he was very often. My name, he said dramatically, is Uchiha Sasuke. You killed my family. Prepare to die. I did not. Orochimaru burst out unexpectedly. Pardon? Sasuke asked. I did not kill the Uchiha. I haven't killed an Uchiha in years. Orochimaru claimed. My family died years ago, Sasuke reminded him. But I didn't do it. Why doesn't anyone ever believe me? Orochimaru demanded. Possibly because you said what's this? Another Uchiha. I was so afraid that I had managed to kill all of them, so this boy would be my only option as a host, but now I see that there is a spare. How wonderful. This is getting a little crowded, so I'll take my leave now, but never forget. I, Orochimaru of the Sannin, will be back to steal your body, mark my words, Naruto told him helpfully. I guess he could have managed a password after all, Sakura murmured to herself. Ah well, that still carries the risk of being overheard. That wasn't me. I was nowhere near Konoha that night. Orochimaru insisted. There's a large crowd of witnesses that say otherwise, Sasuke said flatly. They showed up to see what? Your brother and I alone amongst the corpses. How do you know he didn't do it? Orochimaru challenged. Sasuke laughed bitterly. What, you think Itachi killed everyone? I'm sure next you'll say he was ordered to do so because, let's see, they were planning a coup. I don't know what happened because I was not there, Orochimaru said, clearly getting frustrated. I was framed. Why would anyone frame you? Sasuke asked, sounding skeptical. I don't know but I do not appreciate being known as the one to wipe out such a valuable bloodline, Orochimaru announced. Does that mean you're after either my body or my brother's? Sasuke demanded. Orochimaru tilted his head and smiled. Now that you mention it. Yes. I see, Sasuke said staring Orochimaru straight in the eye. Let me tell you what I think of your little proposal, he said slowly as he activates his Manjikyu Sharingan. Tsukiyomi. In less than 5 seconds, Orochimaru crumpled to the ground. Did you really just beat him? Sakura asked dubiously. I did indeed, Sasuke sounded smug as he quickly cast to counteract Manjikyu's corrosive tendencies. Total cop-out, Naruto complained. To be fair, Sasuke admitted, he probably didn't have any experience with the Sharingan if Madara is still pretending not to exist and definitely wouldn't expect me to have the Manjikyu Sharingan. From what I can tell, this is how Itachi beat Orochimaru when he went after him before leaving Akatsuki. Should we face him again, it will not be so easy. Sweet, he has a heaven scroll. Naruto cheered, picking the aforementioned item up. Give that to me, you'll just lose it, Sasuke insisted, snatching the scroll from Naruto. Naruto glared at him. You suck. Sasuke was about to reply when Sakura forestalled another argument with a simple sing-song. Why, Kiba? Do you think we should contact someone and let them know? She asked seriously. Sasuke shrugged. Why should we? They figured it out before and they can figure it out again. Besides, he should be out for a while. And we really don't want to risk getting disqualified for contacting them. Looking reluctant, Sakura nonetheless agreed to keep moving. So? Naruto said once that was settled. What did you do to him anyway? He gets to live through that time, and Sakura managed to drag me along with them on a shopping expedition for 72 hours straight, Sasuke said grimly. It wasn't that bad. Sakura protested. Naruto shuddered, ignoring her. You're evil. I know. So which of the genin did you molest this time? Kakashi questioned his girlfriend over lunch. It wasn't Naruto again, was it? Because Minato-sensei's kind of getting concerned about that. I do not molest them. Anko insisted. Kakashi simply waited. It might have been the dog boy, she grudgingly admitted. But in my defense, he was being an idiot. I really hope that's covered by the waiver, Kakashi said. Anko shrugged. If these kids are agreeing to die then I'm sure they won't put up too much of a fuss about what some might call being overly forward. Or molestation, Kakashi translated. Anko ignored him. Besides, that Nara boy told the dog boy that he would have to actually read the waiver in order to see if he could sue, and the dog boy decided he'd rather just make Naruto help him through his issues later. She scoffed, issues. Please. A couple more years and he'll be begging for someone to lick him. Someone who really shouldn't be you as you're twice his age and my fiancé, Kakashi pointed out. Don't worry, Anko assured him. I have no interest in dogs. Kakashi gave her a wounded look. Oh, come off it. Dog summons are different, Anko told him. She threw the last of her dango sticks at the same tree where she'd thrown all the others. Perfect leaf pattern. She beamed. How long did it take you to learn how to do that? Kakashi wondered. Anko shrugged. A couple of weeks. When I was younger I went through a period where I refused to eat anything but dango, and since I practiced every time I ate it, I got really good, really fast. Kind of like Naruto and his ramen obsession, Kakashi noted. Yeah, but he seemed to tone it down quite a bit when he turned 8, Anko mused. I always thought that was kind of strange. Well, trauma can do strange things, Kakashi offered lamely. Big trouble, Anko-sama, one of the Chunin examiners announced as he appeared on the scene with a poof of smoke. Izuku? Anko asked. What happened? Bodies, 3 of them. And there. Weird, Mizuku told her. Weird how? Anko demanded. Maybe you'd better come see for yourself, Mizuku said hesitantly. I'll come, too, Kakashi said immediately. Making their way to the site where the bodies had been discovered, they saw several of the examiners gathered around the corpses. After examining their papers and personal items, they seemed to be the hidden grass shinobi who were entered in this exam, but as you can see, they have no faces. They are blank. As if they were melted off, Kitetsu explained. Anko looked horrified. Show me the pictures of these 3 people. They scrambled to do as she requested. Are you okay? Kakashi asked her quietly. He's back, Anko replied just as quietly. The last time I saw him he had just wiped out the Uchiha and was bound to steal the body of either an 8-year-old kid or a 13-year-old one. How could I possibly be okay? My mask had a feeling this would happen, Kakashi said, looking deadly serious. Of course, it seemed far-fetched, so I really couldn't tell anybody. Your mask, Anko repeated. That's what I said, Kakashi confirmed. What, is it psychic now? She asked incredulously. I don't know, do you want me to ask? Kakashi asked dryly. It either won't answer so it won't do any good or it will, and I might need to take Minato-sensei up on that long-standing offer of therapy. Why haven't you if he's so concerned? Anko wondered. Well there's no point, is it? He replied rhetorically. We can't talk about anything confidential, and that's where half of our various issues come from. What we need are ninja therapists. Like Obito, Anko supplied. Or Naruto when he gets older. Once the pictures were in her hand, her mood did not improve. Damn. So even then. Before the exam, I saw him. He was talking about his bloodlust and he kept using his tongue like an extra appendage. I should have known. I mean, seriously, who else does that? You probably would if you could, Kakashi muttered. True, Anko admitted. But I'm not part snake like he seems to be nowadays. This is bad guys, someone go tell Hokage-sama that Orochimaru's back and has infiltrated the exam. Send some Anbu captains to the Forest of Death. I'm going after him right now. We're going after him, Kakashi corrected. Anko didn't bother to argue, she just led the way into the forest. Hey look, it's Gaara. Naruto said excitedly. Hey Gaara. Gaara greeted the new arrival with a nod. Naruto. Oh, so you got another scroll, too? Sakura asked. Is it the one you needed? Temari, who was in the process of retrieving the scroll, quickly checked. Yeah, it is. But you guys want to walk back to the tower with us? Naruto offered. It will be fun. But you guys not see all the blood lying around and the crushed corpses strewn about? Kankuro demanded. Of course we do, Sasuke told him. Why? That doesn't, oh I don't know, bother you? Kankuro asked. We're ninja, Sasuke shrugged. Besides, we signed the waiver. What will it take to convince you that my brother is evil? Kankuro demanded. Gaara's lips thinned a little at that, but he needn't have worried. The evil puppet guy, it's not very nice to try and use poor Gaara as a scapegoat to try and make us forget how evil you are, Naruto rebuked. Why aren't you trying to defend me? Kankuro demanded of his sister. She shrugged. I've come to the conclusion that Konoha is just insane, and besides, Gaara hasn't actually shown any signs of wanting to kill them, and that can only be a good thing in my book. Kankuro groaned theatrically, but let it go. Nevertheless, as they made their way to the tower together, Temari pulled Naruto to the side. So, just between us, do you really think Kankuro's evil and or crazy? He wears makeup and a cat suit, Naruto said flatly. Temari acknowledged. What about the evil part? Naruto grinned at her. Does it really matter? I'm not planning on letting up either way. Temari sighed. I suppose not. It figured that Gaara would manage to accidentally befriend the craziest people around. Or at least, she hoped they were the craziest. A few hours later, after braving the perils of tigers and snakes, Anko and Kakashi finally stumbled upon the still comatose Orochimaru. Odd, I guess someone else took him out, Anko said eventually. Looks like whoever left a note, Kakashi remarked, picking up the paper that had been folded twice and placed on Orochimaru's chest. Unfolding it, he read, Dear responsible Konoha ninja, congrats on actually getting here before that man recovered from my Tsukiyomi. I would like to take this time to thank both Itachi and Naruto, as I could not have beaten him without them. Itachi, of course, taught me how to use the Manjikyu Sharingan, and Naruto died for me. Sakura, as per usual, did nothing. But she did punch someone earlier. Sasuke. Chapter 12. Hey, since you can summon people, why have we only seen this used during the exam? Naruto wondered once they were successfully back at the tower. I mean, I suppose my dad does something sort of similar with his special kunai, but still, you'd think something that useful would be utilized more. What, you mean like why can't you have a summoning contract with a person? Sakura asked. At Naruto's nod, she replied, probably because unlike summons, people don't want to have to drop everything and bail you out of a battle. A better question is why there's even an Odo since Orochimaru didn't get kicked out of his little criminal club. Naruto shrugged. Clearly he likes the idea of ruling a village. Konan and Nagato both run one, and even if it's not exactly a village from what I can tell, it might benefit. Let's just hurry this up, Sasuke said, opening both scrolls then tossing them away. Hey guys, long time no see, Iruka greeted them as he appeared in a poof of smoke. Let's see, you finished the exam. Iruka trailed off as he glanced at his watch. In 6 hours. No one finishes the exam in 6 hours. They did, Sasuke said, pointing to the Sand siblings who were talking to their own summoned Chunin. And apparently not evil Mizuki. I suppose, Iruka said slowly. Still, congratulations. Not only did you make it past the second round of the exams on your first try, but you did it ridiculously fast as well. The test doesn't end for another 4 days, so you'll need to report back here then to receive instructions about the third and final exam and compete preliminary matches if too many teams pass. You're lucky that you finished so quickly as you'll be in top form while everyone else is worn out from their time in the forest. If they wanted time to recuperate, they shouldn't have dawdled, Naruto said decisively. I'm not sure dawdling is the reason they're taking so long. Iruka told him. So can we just go? Sakura asked. Almost, Iruka said. The reason I was called here was to help you to understand the Chunin motto, written by Sandaime Hokage himself. The Chunin motto? Sakura asked politely. If you lack heaven, seek wisdom, be prepared. Gain knowledge and prepare yourself for the missions. If you lack earth, run in the fields, seek advantages, Iruka recited. These rules will guide a person's extremes. Do you guys know what that means? If we say no, do we still pass? Naruto asked. Iruka nodded. Yes. But tell me anyway. You need to be well versed in mind and body, and so if you're weak in one of the areas, then you need to work to improve yourself so your missions will go smoother, Sakura explained. Very good, Sakura, Iruka praised. So, remember. You need to come back here in 4 days. And be careful, you know I worry about you guys. You can worry all you like, Sasuke told him. But you'll see how capable you are when we wipe the floor with everybody and become Chunin. Looking rather sentimental, Iruka smiled at them. I'll hold you to that. Victory is ours. Kiba shouted, running into the tower, his 2 teammates trailing along behind him. Kiba? Sakura asked, surprised. How did you guys finish so quickly? How did you do? Shino countered. We got lucky and ran into someone who had the scroll we needed right away, Sakura replied. So did we, Hinata informed them. Well. In a way. We found it in a clearing where there was a lot of blood and body parts everywhere. You didn't check to see if there were any other scrolls to help eliminate the competition? Kankuro asked his sister. I was going to. She insisted. But then the crazy Konoha Genin showed up and I forgot about it. So I guess you're with me tonight, Kiba told Sasuke. Sasuke blinked. Do tell me how you came to that conclusion. My parents told my sister and I that under no circumstances less dire than an outright invasion or the death of the Hokage were we to disturb them on their anniversary today, so my sister's having dinner with your brother. I thought I'd be busy with the test, but since I'm not, I'm going to tag along. I guess that would make you the fourth wheel, Kiba smirked. Someone up there really hates me, don't they? Sasuke asked rhetorically. Not nearly as much as they should, though, Sakura pointed out. What? Sasuke's hanging out with Kiba tonight. No fair. Naruto complained. I want to do something. Hey, I know. Gaara, do you want to have dinner at my house tonight? Gaara just blinked at the unexpected invite. Are you sure that's the best idea? Temari spoke up. Oh, you're invited too, Naruto assured her. And? The evil puppet guy can come too, I suppose. I wouldn't want to be rude, after all. No, I'm sure you wouldn't, Kankura muttered. But no puppets, Naruto warned. If you bring them, I simply cannot guarantee they'll survive the night. You know, if nothing else Gaara has never threatened to kill my puppets before, Kankura whispered to Temari. No, but isn't threatening to kill us enough? She whispered back. We'll have to ask our sensei. Temari begins. We'll be there, Gaara cut her off. Great. Naruto said enthusiastically. My father's the Hokage, as you know, so it shouldn't be that difficult to find our address. It'll be fun. And diplomatic. My parents don't really expect me back today, so I'm tagging along with you, Sakura informed Naruto. I'd go with Sasuke, except I wouldn't want to be a fifth wheel nor be a witness when Sasuke inevitably snaps and tries to kill Kiba. My dad's not too sure of you anyway, so that would be great, Naruto said easily. Sakura raised her eyebrows. He's not sure of me? Why not? It's nothing personal, Naruto assured her. It's just that of our team, there's me, who he's known for 12 years, Kakashi who he's been training since before I was even born, Sasuke who he didn't really know who he was until 4 years ago, but has spent a great deal of time with since Obito got custody, and you. He's just kind of overprotective. I see, Sakura said. And if nothing else, this will be an interesting dinner. Far better than trying to figure out the best way to say I faced down a pedophile who was trying to possess my teammate. Is it true? Itachi demanded the minute he was alone with Kakashi. Is that true? Kakashi asked automatically. Orochimaru's really in custody. And he really faced Sasuke. Itachi clarified. Kakashi nodded. The note Sasuke left declaring Orochimaru's comatose state to be the aftereffect of his Tsukiyomi seemed to indicate that, but I haven't gotten a chance to ask him about it yet. Sasuke. Sasuke faced down Orochimaru and he's still alive, Itachi shook his head in disbelief. He even technically won. I never thought I would say this, but thank God for the Manjikyu Sharingan. How did you even hear about that so fast, anyway? Kakashi inquired. Itachi gave him a look that implied that that was a very stupid question. Confirmation of Orochimaru's capture can't be all you wanted to ask me about, Kakashi realized. If nothing else, you could ask Sasuke about it and you seem to like him more than me. True, Itachi replied to both points. But he spoke to Orochimaru. He had to have. I only met him once, but he seemed very garrulous. And this is a problem because… Kakashi asked before realization struck him. You're worried that he'll tell Sasuke the truth about the massacre. Can you blame me? Itachi asked rhetorically. By all rights, I shouldn't even be here. That kind of mission was one that could never be admitted to and a scapegoat was needed. I knew that. If Orochimaru was willing to take responsibility or credit, most likely, in the world of the missing nin back then why do you think he would suddenly confess now? Kakashi asked. I'll admit, I could never figure out why Orochimaru was in the village in the first place, or how he knew what was happening, or if he knew or just happened to be passing by and saw an opportunity. Either way, he must have had his reasons. Itachi nodded. I know and I'm not saying he would claim innocence to the world, but if he entered the exam then clearly he's chosen to go after Sasuke. That makes sense as he's just a genin no matter how exceptional, and you're a jounin who used to be an Anbu, Kakashi pointed out. Why did Hokage-sama take me out of Anbu after that? Itachi asked. Kakashi shrugged. I suppose Minato-sensei had decided you'd sacrificed enough. Itachi merely shook his head at that. If Orochimaru can convince Sasuke of the truth or at the very least plant the seeds of doubt in his mind, he could turn him against Konoha, and if he gives him a curse seal, it will mess with his mind and could convince him to leave. We don't know if Orochimaru knew that it was ordered or about the planned coup, Kakashi reasoned. No, but finding out the truth about me. Itachi trailed off. It might be enough. You don't want him to hate you. As expected, Itachi didn't respond. Even if Sasuke does at some point get a curse seal, he won't just jump ship that easily. And it was even true. Sasuke hadn't defected until after running into his older brother again, ironically trying to make sure he'd stay safe in Konoha, getting his ass kicked and lying comatose for weeks after experiencing a particularly vicious Tsukiyomi. I wouldn't call finding out that the near-complete annihilation of his entire clan wasn't an impulsive act of a madman counts as so easily, Itachi countered. Even if Sasuke were to realize the truth, he spent too many years hating Orochimaru to go to him now. And Sasuke really hates Orochimaru. So much that I'm starting to worry. Why would he listen to anything he had to say? Orochimaru has no proof one way or another, and unless Sasuke secretly thinks you go around killing people for the hell of it, he has no reason to believe that of you. And trust me, given Sasuke's extremely strong revenge tendencies, I think you'd know if he secretly hated you. You're right, Itachi said, looking only very slightly, but given who it was, the fact that it was discernible at all was huge relieved. Thank you. Kakashi wondered briefly why Itachi had chosen to have that conversation with him of all people, but then again, considering his only other options were the Hokage who had ordered him to do it in the first place or Jiraiya, maybe it wasn't too surprising. As Gaara had decreed, the Sand siblings arrived at Naruto's house promptly at 6:30. Sakura was already there, having simply followed her friend home to commence operation. Convince the Hokage I'm at least as sane as the rest of the team and not useless no matter what Sasuke says. To their slight surprise, Baki was with them. Clearly he wanted to make sure the Kazukige's kids didn't spill anything classified to the Hokage, never mind if they let anything slip about their possible involvement in the invasion that might not even happen. "Ah, you must be Naruto's new friend sensei," Minato greeted him. "I saw your profile earlier." Baki, right. Baki nodded. "Indeed, Hokage-sama. We were going to have calamari, but Naruto insisted that after such a harrowing experience as the second exam, he simply had to have ramen," Minato explained, leading the way to the dining room. "After hearing that he faced down with one of our most dangerous missing nin, I decided he deserved it. I hope you don't mind." "Ramen's fine," Temari informed him. "It isn't very popular in Suna, so we don't get a chance to eat it very often." Naruto, who was about to start eating, dropped his chopsticks and started in a penmanhorritor. "Breathe, Naruto," Sakura advised. "No. Ramen?" Naruto asked weakly. "Is he really that obsessed with it?" Kankuro asked incredulously. "Yes," Sakura and Minato said simultaneously. "He would sell his soul for a bowl of ramen," Sakura declared. "Or at least rent it out," added Minato. "Hey, whose side are you on, anyway?" Naruto demanded. "I wasn't aware that there were sides," Minato told his son. "Of course there are. Kankuro uses puppets and Naruto is stage whispered." "Ah yes," Minato nodded understandingly. "I see. Is it a bad thing to use puppets in Konoha?" Baki inquired. "Not really," Minato responded. "He just has severe puppet issues. I'm not sure why, but it's kind of a long-standing thing." The two adults quickly drifted into their own conversation about the exams that the people actually taking them couldn't care less about. "So Gaara, do you think we'll need to have prelims?" Sakura asked, trying to draw the silent boy into the conversation. "It doesn't matter if we do, I'll take down anyone in my way," Gaara answered her seriously. "Can you try not to kill any of my other friends?" Naruto asked. "I like them. Aren't you friends with half of the people still in the exam?" Temari asked. "No," Naruto replied easily. "Just you, Gaara, Sakura, Sasuke, Kiba, Hinata, Shino, Ino, Shikamaru, Choji, Niji, Lee, and Tenten. Anyone else, I really don't care." "The list would be helpful," Gaara informed him. "I'll get right on that," Naruto proclaimed. "So I don't make the cut?" Kankuro demanded. "You see me just as much as you see my siblings." "Yeah, but..." "Puppets," Naruto said simply. "Don't worry, Kankuro, you can be my friend," Sakura assured him. "And possibly Sasuke's. Although he usually likes to pretend he doesn't like people who aren't either on his team or live with him." "So I heard Orochimaru showed up at the exams," Rin decided to bring up what they were all thinking about anyway. "It's a good thing he didn't get away, but I hope he regains consciousness soon so we can find out what he's up to." "I can't believe he has the nerve to come back here," Obito practically growled. "First he betrays Konoha, then he kills almost my entire family, and now he's coming after Sasuke. And I'm still not over what he did to me," Anko added. "I just wish I could remember why he abandoned me." "Maybe he didn't," Kakashi suggested. "Maybe you left him." "Maybe," Anko said dismissively. "I was pretty young though, so I kind of doubt I would have been strong enough." "You've always been strong enough," Kakashi said loyally. "Have you talked to Itachi or Sasuke about Orochimaru yet?" Rin asked her husband. Obito shook his head. "No. Sasuke's traumatized enough and he has to deal with Orochimaru trying to steal his body, and Itachi not only has to worry about Sasuke, but he was actually there when everyone died. I'm really not sure what there is to say." "Sometimes there isn't anything to say," Rin replied. There was a contemplative silence which Anko broke with a, "So did you hear about Sasuke's note after he somehow managed to incapacitate Orochimaru?" It read like it was an acceptance speech. Obito snorted. Given what a huge feat that was, everyone's hatred of Orochimaru, and the blatant favoritism we've been receiving since the massacre, I wouldn't be surprised if he did win some kind of award for this. Although heaven help him if Sakura finds out that he called her useless again in it. Kakashi shook his head. "Is she really useless, though?" Rin asked curiously. "Because I've seen her around at the hospital and she seemed to know what she was doing. I wouldn't have dealt with all those protests about how I can't stack the team if she was," Kakashi answered. "Although given her test scores, I still would have gotten them." "Then why does Sasuke keep saying that?" Anko asked. Probably the same reason he keeps calling Naruto an idiot. To piss his teammates off, Obito guessed. And then there's that, Kakashi acknowledged. Mostly I think it's just that since he's one of 3 of the only people around with the Sharingan since the massacre, and Naruto's the Hokage's son, Sakura's civilian background makes her stand out as the normal one on the team. You were going to say 4 people with a Sharingan, weren't you? Obito said knowingly. No, Kakashi cursed his slip-up. He really had no reason for knowing about Madara. Anzo's dead, though, so we really don't have to worry about him, Obito told him. He made a face. I still can't believe he would have taken one of Shisui's eyes like that. Wasn't it enough that the poor kid drowned himself? Kunai dodged. Don't you have any other friends you could hang out with? Inuzuka Hana demanded. But such late notice, that would be rude, Kiba said virtuously. And we can't have that. You know what else is rude? Hana asked rhetorically. Crashing your sibling's date. And that goes for both of you. This is my house, Sasuke pointed out. And I would have just gone over to Naruto's like apparently everyone else was doing, but Naruto specifically made sure to tell me I wasn't invited and I should spend time with family despite the fact he's letting Sakura tag along. We may as well make the best of it, Itachi said calmly. And we can hear how they did in the first 2 exams. What are you even doing out of the forest so early? I had heard that you can't leave until the 5th day, Hana remarked. You only need to stay until you pass, Kiba said simply. And we did. Already? Hana sounded shocked. Impressed? Kiba asked smugly. To be honest, I'm amazed you passed it all. Hana admitted. That makes 2 of us, Sasuke muttered. They just ended up literally stumbling onto a scroll. Well, if someone is going to be so careless as to leave one lying among a bunch of dismembered corpses, I don't see why we should take advantage of it, Kiba said heatedly. And what do you mean you're amazed we passed? Don't you have any faith in your own brother? She means that it is surprising because you graduated from the academy so very recently, Itachi interceded before an argument could break out. Usually Jounin wait at least a year to enter their students as guided. It's been 5 years since rookies like yourselves have entered the exam and those that do never make it this far. So maybe we're just amazing, Kiba suggested. Hana snorted. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly it. Kiba chose to ignore his sister's sarcastic tone and instead turned to Sasuke. It's a good thing you guys finished as quickly as you did. Why's that? Sasuke asked cautiously. Because otherwise poor Sakura would have been stuck between you, Naruto, and your unresolved sexual tension, he smirked. Sasuke wondered how much Itachi and his girlfriend would complain if he were to just stab Kiba right there. Kiba, Hana scolded. There's no need to be so rude. Rude? Try to be honest. You haven't seen them together. And from what Sakura told me about the conversations they had during the exam. Kiba shook his head. Sasuke realized that perhaps Sakura was more serious about not being called useless than he thought. Although I suppose having to deal with 2 people who are so obviously in love is less awful than having to face down that snake guy, Kiba noted. Sasuke noticed Itachi stiffening slightly, but the 2 in Inuzuka didn't. Yes, facing down an S-class criminal is a bit more than should reasonably be expected from us in Chunin exams. I'm kind of surprised you didn't kill him once you had him at your mercy, actually, Kiba confessed. It didn't occur to me, Sasuke lied. I mean, as much as I hate him and want him dead, I'm only 12 and I want to put off my first kill until after I become a Chunin at the very least. Besides, this way Konoha can't see why he was here or if it was just for me. And he said it all with a straight face, too. Did you confront him about what happened? Hana asked curiously. Sasuke rolled his eyes. I tried to. We got separated and Naruto came back in the middle of it and ruined the atmosphere. So he didn't say anything to you? Itachi pressed. He kept talking about how he wanted my body, but that did not, in fact, make him a pedophile like Naruto, and Sakura seemed to think it did, Sasuke explained. He also started to say something about how the massacre wasn't his fault, but I didn't need to hear his excuses. Itachi relaxed marginally. Crisis averted. Or at least put it on hold until Orochimaru woke up. We should do this again sometime, Naruto said, standing in the doorway as Sakura and the Suna delegation were about to leave. I even forgot to be terrified of Kankuro after the first half hour. It was probably the lack of puppets, Gaara suggested. True, Naruto agreed. Of course, the next time I see him he'll be armed again, but it was nice not to have to worry about them for one night. Thank you for your hospitality and a most stimulating discussion, Baki said politely. The pleasure was all mine, Minato said pleasantly. It's nice to hear about other parts of the world. Kankuro pulled Sakura off to the side. You're his teammate, right? You have to know. Have to know what? Sakura asked, puzzled. Why does he keep doing that? Kankuro demanded. I mean, for the love of God, they're puppets. He can't seriously be that bothered by them. He's not afraid of Gaara, so why is he making a big deal about me? Sakura cocked her head at him. You really don't know. If I did I wouldn't be asking, Kankuro replied. Sakura sighed. He'll probably yell at me for spoiling his fun but Naruto's a Jinchuriki. I know, Kankuro said, sounding confused. But I thought no one here cared. We don't, Sakura confirmed. But Suna apparently does. I have no problem with Naruto aside from his insistence that I'm evil and neither does anyone else here for the exams, Kankuro told her. But you do care that your brother is, Sakura pointed out. Kankuro stared at her. Yeah, but he kills people. Frequently. And not just the ones he's supposed to. I kind of figured. Either way, I think the fact he's responded so strongly to Naruto just hanging around and bugging you guys is kind of telling, don't you? Sakura asked. And sad. So Gaara apparently wants people to talk to him. Kankuro still sounded lost. How does that translate into Naruto avoiding me? Naruto may not have to face any prejudice on a day-to-day basis, but he could see from the minute we met you that Gaara does, Sakura explained. I know that he kills people, and it's not my place to judge, but Naruto doesn't like it when anyone's shunned for something they can't help, and the fact that Gaara is a Jinchuriki like him just makes it resonate more. So you're saying? Kankuro trailed off, uncertain. Naruto's treating you like he sees you treat your brother, Sakura confirmed. Although with less actual fear and more over-the-topness as this is Naruto we're talking about. I see, Kankuro said finally. I appreciate the clarification. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy it. If you want the next part of this video, turn on that bell notification. Like, subscribe and comment down below. And also check out the others videos I have created and enjoyed it. See you guys next video.